The system is showing signs of breaking, with currencies like the yen and the shilling on the brink of collapse. Countries are weaponizing debt and threatening war. Banking leaders are admitting we're on an unsustainable path, and yet there's still hope. How can regular people like you and me make a difference and create a brighter, better future? Welcome to Bitcoin Daily. I'm Dante Cook, head of Swan Business. Okay, I've got some breaking news for you. Well, it's not really breaking. It's just that something is breaking. And that something is the Japanese yen, which is on track for its lowest close against the dollar in 38 years. You know what else is breaking? Confidence that President Joe Biden will be the Democratic nominee in this upcoming election, as the odds of him being the Democratic nominee have fallen below 50%. You know what else is breaking? Confidence that the Democratic Party even has a chance in this election, as election odds of Donald Trump being the next president rising to over 70%. The confidence in the Democratic Party is so low that CEOs like Anthony Noto, CEO of SoFi, who runs a company based in California, is coming on live television to say the quiet part out loud.
I'd be lying to you and being, less than disingenuous if I didn't say our business would benefit from a Republican administration. There's more capital markets activity. There's more M&A activity. I want our country to be very strong and vibrant. And on one particular day, I'll be rooting for one particular party.
You know what else is breaking? Housing affordability, as the average American has to spend 43% of their household income just to afford a house. And you know what else this is causing to break? Mortgage applications, which have fallen to lows that have not been seen since 1995. Around the world, you know what else is breaking? The Kenyan economy, who's unable to pay off their $26 billion in debts that they owe to other organizations like the IMF, which we've talked about on this show before. And inevitably, you know what's going to happen? They're going to devalue their currency, and they're going to wipe out all of the Kenyan people who've saved and stored their wealth in the Yen Shilling. You know what else is breaking? Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve Chair Board's faith in the United States fiscal path.
Back in February, you were on 60 Minutes, and you said the U.S. budget deficit, the national debt are unsustainable. Do you still view that the U.S. is on an unsustainable fiscal path?
I do. I think I tried to be clear that the level of the U.S. debt is not itself unsustainable, but the path that we're on is unsustainable, and I think that is not controversial.
And you know why his faith is breaking? Because federal debt has grown at 8.5% annually over the last decade, and interest payments are now over $1 trillion. And you know what else is breaking? Trust between nations globally. As the fiat system has sown corruption, deception, and distrust among leaders everywhere, who are now weaponizing fiat currencies, the war machines, and other countries' debt against them. Like Saudi Arabia, who's threatening to sell European debt if they seize Russian assets again. And in an act of aggression, the United States and allies like Denmark and the Netherlands are sending F-16s to Ukraine as we speak.
And I'm also pleased to announce that as we speak, the transfer of F-16 jets is underway, coming from Denmark, coming from the Netherlands. And those jets will be flying in the skies of Ukraine this summer to make sure that Ukraine can continue to effectively defend itself against the Russian aggression.
Okay, enough about breaking things. I'm personally a man of faith and hope and believe in building things versus breaking things. Over the last 50 years, I'm observing the fruit of fiat, and it's rotten to the core. I've come to truly believe that Bitcoin is a catalyst for a better world and a better future, one without corruption and deception and distrust, as we will have a trusted ledger that we can all believe in. So instead of tearing down and perpetuating systems of iniquity and wickedness, I'm hoping that we build an entirely new system. And that system is built on Bitcoin. And in order to create the future that we want to see, we need to leverage the power and influence that we have within the current system that we have as we're building the new one. One example of this is my friends Terrence Michael and Don Bay, who spoke to the city of Santa Monica about adopting a Bitcoin standard. And they use the power within the existing system to speak at things like city councils and work with their elected officials to teach them about Bitcoin, to educate them about the benefits of Bitcoin. And you know what? The city of Santa Monica chose to hear them out. Listen to this clip.
Good evening, City Council members. Thank you for having me. When I'm not educating on Bitcoin, I'm a TV and film producer, and I've filmed and shot many of my shows around here, shutting down the Pier, the Bluff, the Strand. I love Santa Monica. I've been here since a little boy. And in fact, I'm old enough to remember that when I was a little boy and the internet was coming along, I used to ride my bike over to the internet cafe on Broadway between 2nd and 3rd and put the quarters in and get on the internet because the internet we had at home was very slow. And I was always warned, you know, be careful of the internet. There's criminals, there's porn, there's bad people. And yeah, it was a scary Wild West. But the network, the network was amazing because it democratized and it decentralized information for everybody. It was this egalitarian thing that no matter your race, no matter your status, no matter your class, no matter where you lived, it sort of superseded borders. And we didn't know what it could be then. You know, the internet started off in the 1960s as this military and academia relay system. But today it's a theater to some people, and to others it's a flea market, and others it's a dating app. We didn't know what it could be, but I saw Santa Monica welcoming these companies and tech companies, and you know, we have Uber here and Postmates, and we see what people could build on top of it, but we didn't know that back then. Bitcoin is the same thing, and the reason people get confused is because they come into it with Bitcoin the asset. Pretend the internet had a token called the internet coin or whatever, and its price reflected and captured how valuable the internet is. That's what Bitcoin the asset is, what most people come into. That's the way Satoshi used it to incentivize us. But what we're here to talk about is Bitcoin the network. It's this big, wonderful playground that's auditable, transparent, and it's just a big ledger of truth where all of the companies of tomorrow are going to want to build on. All the best technologists, all the best computer scientists, the kids, everyone with money, the VC, Silicon Valley, they're all moving into Bitcoin. And I would love to see that happen here in Santa Monica. Thank you.
And you know what them using their voice led to? The city of Santa Monica becoming the first place outside of El Salvador to elect a Bitcoin office that will allow them to educate their citizens in their community about Bitcoin and to hopefully realize the economic benefits of moving towards a Bitcoin standard. This just shows the power that we have as regular people to make a meaningful difference into the world that we want to see. A world away from things that are continually breaking right in front of our eyes. Speaking of Santa Monica, one of the things that I love about Santa Monica is the Pacific Bitcoin Festival, where you can join 1,000 other people from across the globe who are coming to learn and hope for a better and brighter future in lovely Santa Monica. The conference is on October 18th and 19th, and you can get your tickets at pacificbitcoin.com. You won't want to miss it. It's an event and gathering and, shall I say, party, unlike anyone that you've ever been to. And so you might be asking, why would I invest into something like this? Well, do you want to invest into a system that is clearly breaking? I come on here daily to talk about cracks in the current system that are showing. And Bitcoin is just an opportunity for us to build a better and brighter future. If that's something that you want, if that's something that you believe in, subscribe to the channel and share videos like this with people who you think need to hear a message of hope in a time and place where things are breaking all around us. And with that, we're signing off for today. This is Dante Cook with Swan.com. Happy stacking.